Okay, well, thank you so much for having us. This is Food Scout, an app that brings all your favorite food delivery apps into one platform. So before I get started talking about our product and our business, I wanted to talk about a few problems we found in the food delivery industry while we were working on this product. So first, high food delivery fees. Everybody knows about them. You spend so much time working on the perfect order with one of these delivery apps, only to make it to checkout and get hit with those really high delivery fees and some service fees on top. So we talked a lot with customers about what they do when they actually get hit with those fees. And usually they'll either shop around and see which one's cheaper, or they'll just deal with the fee directly and just kind of take it at face value. And so what happens when people shop around? That brings me to my second problem, which there's just too many food delivery apps out there. When you're shopping around to see, compare these different delivery services against each other, certain restaurants are only on certain delivery apps. So it can be really tricky to compare them against each other. So what if there were a solution that could automatically compare food delivery services against each other in a way that gave you the lowest delivery fees and the fastest delivery times? Well, this is Food Scout, an app that brings multiple food delivery services into one app. It supports the top 5 major food delivery services in the US, so UberEats, DoorDash, Postmates, and more. And when you sign in and connect your services, we provide you with the kind of lowest to highest list, from free delivery all the way up to whatever the highest price is, which that one's probably $10.99, yep. And so another thing we also compare is delivery speeds. So when it comes to delivery, some people want speed, some people want cheapness, so we give you both, and you can pick. So that was a lot of information. Let's talk about how it works. First, you connect your services, so you sign in with your UberEats or DoorDash account. Then you can search and explore different restaurants. And the special thing about Food Scout is we surface restaurants from all food delivery services simultaneously. And the same goes for our search. So with our search, we search all of them at the same time. So what happens when you tap into a restaurant and you want to view it? Well, we'll show you all of your different delivery options, and we'll sort it from lowest to highest so you can see which delivery service is the cheapest at that particular moment. And this other special thing about Food Scout is we allow you to place your order directly in the app, so you don't even have to have the other app installed. So how do we make money? Well, we have a required in-app subscription of $1.99 with a 2-month free trial. And we spent a lot of time talking with customers about what price worked best for them. Originally, we had a $4.99 subscription. We brought it down to $1.99 after some really candid feedback. And that kind of just blasted us into what we are now. We're at that $1.99 subscription with that 2-month free trial. So our second monetization strategy is the Food Scout API service. We talked a lot with developers about kind of just Food Scout in general, and they were really interested in where we were getting that data from and how we were using it. And the other group is restaurant owners. So we talked to some restaurant owners. They were really interested in the data as well. So that system will be coming in March of 2025. So I want to hand it off to Damion to talk about the future of Food Scout and how we got here.
Thank you so much, Jacoby. So with that said, Food Scout started its development earlier this year in January. We then ended up releasing the beta version on the Apple App Store in March in order to also gauge online community feedback. Now, after that, we ended up receiving a lot of positive comments about the idea, but there were 2 pain points which were really an issue for consumers. The first was city support. At that time, we only covered 20 cities, but because of that feedback, we ended up scaling to over 318 cities across the US. Now, the second thing was the app needed more features. So we ended up adding the features to where you have a map to find those hidden small restaurant gems in your local area, the ability to compare other things such as menu fees and the delivery time. Now, over in October, we want to branch out away from these communities in order to basically validate the market and to see if it actually existed. So we ended up doing a light marketing campaign across those 318 cities. From that, we ended up gaining over 100 users and understood our go-to-market strategy more, and especially our audience. So there are 3 groups. The first group are people who order food delivery for their loved ones. This group we found wants to save on delivery. The second group are power users. This is a group where if you have multiple delivery apps, you just want a single place to order from. So they basically want a single app that has all 5 delivery services, which will help save them time and convenience. The third group are people who are frustrated by food delivery. Specifically, the anti-consumer practices in food delivery, such as surge pricing, has been really making people frustrated. So this group specifically wants transparency. Now, going back to our go-to-market strategy, that light marketing campaign we did that covered the 318 cities, we wanted to find which ones had the best conversion rate for Food Scout. And we identified 4: Houston, Dallas, Nashville, and Atlanta. And what we really want to do is hyper-focus on these cities and eventually roll out to larger cities that also have high conversion rates. So we don't end up just burning money unnecessarily. Now, the question is there anyone else doing what Food Scout is doing? Well, we only have 2 direct competitors. The first is Food Boss. Food Boss aggregates all these delivery services together and compare the delivery fees. The issue with them, though, is their restaurant data and delivery fee data are inaccurate. On the other hand, we have Google. Google's really great for restaurant data, but their ability to compare delivery fees, that feature, well, is also inaccurate as well. It doesn't provide up-to-date delivery fees. Now, Food Scout, on the other hand, we provide both the real-time restaurant data and delivery fee data, making it to where it's the best experience and allows you to compare a lot of items. But I will also mention, keep in mind, we are still competing with these delivery services for market share because their consumers are our consumers as well. Now, there is a past competitor I want to talk about, which is MealMe. MealMe ended up doing something similar to Food Scout, but they ended up hijacking the ordering experience. So when you ordered, instead of going directly to the service, it would go through MealMe's servers. Now, what this ended up causing was a lot of people placed an order and didn't receive their food and were charged unnecessarily. Or they did receive their food, but they just didn't have the items. This was really detrimental to MealMe, which Food Scout ended up solving by making it so where you can order directly through our app. But keep in mind, MealMe existed before us, and they had 3 million users. And those 3 million users sadly don't have an app anymore to compare delivery fees and data, because MealMe ended up taking off their app from the App Store because of their solution for the ordering process. So we believe that Food Scout can capture that user base and capture that total addressable market of 72 million. So the time for action is now. We have battle tested our technology, tested our marketing channels, and prepared a more refined go-to-marketing strategy. So one thing is, we're just 2 tech people. We're not great at marketing. And that's why we partnered up with a local marketing company called Bread. And Bread basically has worked with over hundreds of different brands across the nation to basically promote their own products across the nation. And we believe that they are the right people, especially to promote Food Scout. So our ask is $350,000. 60% of it will be going towards marketing and sales, while 40% will be going towards future feature development and operational support. And then finally, in the year of 2025, this is where our valley of death is. And that investment will especially help us get past that valley of death and help us reach that 13,750 user projection. And in turn, for the next years, we plan on reinvesting that money back into the company in order to gain a profit. So I'll pass it over back to Jacoby.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my name is Jacoby Broadnax. I'm the front-end software developer here at Food Scout. This is Damion Dehart, our back-end developer. We've each been working on software development for around 6 years now. We came together 4 years ago to kind of work on our own projects on the Mississippi Gulf Coast and work on different products. And Food Scout has just been kind of our love child. Like, we've been working so hard to make it the best experience it could possibly be. So that's Food Scout. It's one app for all your favorite delivery services. And you can feel free to delete all your other apps and place your order with Food Scout. So please, any questions?
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have concerns about API access to the underlying apps that are trying to block you out over time. How do you think about access to the underlying system?
So he's asking about how we handle access to basically these different delivery services and that kind of funnel. So it's kind of been a back and forth for us. We've been working on these different services for a little while now. We understand how they're changing over time, and we've been able to kind of account for them, especially when they start doing different things. So I guess to answer your question, we've been really methodical about how we're scraping these services to get this data. Oh, yeah. All the way.
Who's going to do the fundraising?
Okay.
Sorry, can you clarify more on that?
Who's going to fundraise for the company and capitalize it?
Yeah, no. So are you referring to bread basically for the marketing?
Now, I'm talking about money you need investors to invest in your company.
Okay, I understand now. So we're looking around for a business person. That is something that we're really kind of interested in, especially since we're pretty much only on the tech side. Definitely a business person. We're looking for a business co-founder.
So that's your next hire?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
What happens if I'm a premium subscriber to UberEats and I'm paying for their discounts? Does that come through the app?
That's a great question. So he's asking about premium memberships. So with UberEats or DoorDash, they have DoorDash Dash Pass. So the way that we account for that is we require you to sign into the service. So let's go back here. So, yep, right here. So we require you to sign into the service, which basically allows us to account for differences in different Dash Pass or Uber Eats Plus. We can account for those differences in the delivery fees, depending on those situations. But keep in mind, certain restaurants are only on certain services. So Food Scout might expose you to different services that you might not have seen by using Dash Pass. Yes.
Why is your user growth not more robust? You say there's 3 million former users of the failed app out there, and you're going to 37,000 and then to 91,000 a whole year later. Seems like that's rather slow growth.
Yeah, so the question he's asking is basically, why is our user growth so small? Well, that mainly comes down to our methodical approach on testing the technology and planning out marketing. So again, we started building this technology earlier this year in January, and we only focused within a very finite small community all the way up to October. And then in October, that's when we started actually pushing out ads to those cities. But the issue we had is we just didn't have enough time to burn money. And at the same time, the amount we wanted to keep spending to was a very small amount, so only a few people are exposed to that ad.
So it's pretty much all related to time.
Yes.
Just
And money. Raise more money and increase the user growth more quickly.
Exactly.
Yes?
Have you considered a premium model?
So that's definitely something we've considered, especially, so you're saying for a premium model, basically make it free and then upcharge later. So we experimented with a lot with that, and we're still open to the idea, definitely. But for right now, $1.99 subscription works out because we're seeing that on average, people are saving $5 or more just by comparing delivery fees. So that subscription is quickly canceled out. Okay, well, I guess I'll go over some of the other questions we usually get. Okay, so we usually get the question about kind of the communication between the delivery services. So right now, we have a system in place where data is always accurate, where we're pulling data in real time. So you never have an issue where a delivery fee might be wrong, or it says it's wrong, and then you go and actually check the delivery service. So delivery fees are always accurate, pretty much every time.
Well, one of the other questions or comments I would like to say is, One of the things we noticed in other competitors and past people who have attempted this is their server costs are always extremely high. I'm talking about 10,000, 100,000 plus. But the thing is, with our unique scraping system that we developed, currently we brought those server costs all the way down to $150. Majority of the processing is on the actual user's device, which is a really great benefit.
Okay,
We got one more.
okay, yeah.
So, if you want to potentially create something to compare like the different apps to deliver your groceries, like instead of the restaurant food, but like groceries instead, how hard would that be to build the figure?
So there is something we forgot to mention. Yeah, definitely, that's a good question. So when it comes to restaurants and like basically all these delivery services, the delivery services, they deliver from like Walgreens or different grocery stores. And what Food Scout did is we automatically like grab all of that as well. So you can actually look up grocery stores on Food Scout too. And we even are able to find like Best Buy or just all types of different stores. So we automatically compare those as well. Great question.
I'll add a little shock value to that. There's a bouquet place in Hattiesburg, $60 on Grubhub for a bouquet, $100 on DoorDash.
It can be that dramatic. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to us. This is Food Scout. Please meet us at the booth afterwards.